For the past 5.5 weeks, we've been sharing our story from 2023 and 2024. We have received a lot of great questions about our decisions and course of direction. We will try to answer them. Back when Bailey was 2 years old, we decided that Natalie would quit her job and be home with Bailey. We were just not comfortable with the idea of the three of us being apart all day for most of each week. In more recent years, my job has kept me away from our family for 50 to 70 hours per week, depending upon the season, not including drive time. There have been many days that I got home after Bailey was asleep, left before she woke up, and repeated that process. When Natalie and I got married, this life was never our goal. We always dreamed of being together all day, every day, building something together. Weekend camping and week-long trips have been great, but we wanted more. We started to save and invest as much money as possible. For years, we had monthly family budget meetings. We looked for ways to cut back and invest more. To save more, I started to sell more at my job. I was able to drastically increase my income with commission. For many years, I was the top or one of the very top salespeople in the nation for the company that I work for. This allowed me to increase my income considerably each year. Natalie's family and my family live in Florida. Both of our dads were having health problems, and we wanted to see them more often. In May of 23, we sold our house with the plan of full-time family travel, giving us the freedom to see our families more often. Homeschooling Bailey has given her and Natalie the ability to spend extended time in Florida as both of our dads' health became worse. This is a great luxury that came at a great cost. It kept the three of us apart for months at a time. Our goals and plans for years have been to have our family together, learn together, work together, explore together, struggle together, and build a business together. To build the life we've dreamed about together. There have been a few things holding us back. One, we need a functional 4x4 and trailer to travel in. We looked at all available 4x4s on the market, and we decided that we would stay with our 4x4 that we already owned. We decided it would be much more cost-effective to modify our Hummer versus purchasing something new. In theory, this sounded great. The whole build was going to take 4 months and would be much more less costly than starting with the new 4x4. We wanted more power and a transmission with more gears, essentially better drivability. We had no idea that 18 months later we would still be trying to complete this build. Had we known this would have been such a process, we would have done things much differently. The second thing holding us back is commission. For me to leave my job would inevitably have me walking away from some sizable commission. And 2023 was my best sales year to date, by far, breaking all other records. Most of the commission will be paid in the first or second quarter of 2024. But on December 27th of 23, the company that I work for sent out an email stating that as of December 31st, they would no longer be paying commission. That one email reduced my income by a minimum of 35%. At this point, I needed to leave, but we don't have a tow vehicle. Meanwhile, both of our dads passed away, and our goal of being with them didn't come together in time. At this point, we didn't own a house, but we needed somewhere to live while waiting to full-time travel. After selling our house in May of 23, we lived at the Jellystone Campground. Once fall rolled around and the weather got cold, we rented a house on a ranch. By April 28th of 2024, we were back living full-time at the Jellystone Campground. None of this was our plan. Had we known that this was going to be the course of events, we would have done things much differently and been full-time traveling for at least a year by now. If our Hummer project doesn't come together soon, we will have to make a change. Our family goals don't need to suffer any more delays. All right, check it out. There's a buck right over here. Coming right by the campsite. See if you can see him. That's one of the cool things about living in the Jellystone in Larkspur, Colorado. You get to see deer just about every day. Sometimes on that hill, way across over there, sometimes we see a herd of elk too. And then of course there is the hummingbirds, like this guy eating right behind me. At the grill, we got some charcoal coming. So we'll get this grill hot here in just a little bit. That's looking really good. By the way, Natalie makes the best fish tacos.
I'm gonna put some lime juice on top. I don't have a whole lot of lime, but this should be enough. And then I'm gonna throw on some of this tahini, which is really good. And I'm gonna give it a stir, and now it's ready. So to go with the tacos, I'm gonna make a tomato, onion, avocado salad. I'm gonna throw in some peppers and some green onions. So first thing I'm gonna do is just chop up all the veggies.
All right, so these are tomatoes from the downtown Parker Farmers Market. And I will say, don't cut yourself, baby. I will say, they told us they were picked like yesterday. Well, that's just not true because they are missing flavor.
They are. They're not really very juicy. They look like they came from the grocery store today.
I don't want to be critical, but that wasn't, at least for today, that was not the best farmer's market.
No, I mean, I will say that I was pretty excited about the mushroom guy, and I think we, got pretty good deal there. But everything else, and maybe the cherries, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. The cherries are phenomenal. Have you had one yet?
Mm-mm.
Are they in the fridge?
They are.
Oh, they're phenomenal. Okay, I'm going to say we nailed it on those organic cherries.
I diced up a couple cloves of garlic. I'm going to throw that in. And I'm going to squeeze some lime juice on. And this is ready.
We're going to warm up these tortillas. Just toast them a little bit.
So we have some Atlantic wild cod that I'm going to season up with some more of this tahini. This stuff is so good if you haven't tried it. Some black pepper, some garlic, and some cumin.
Meanwhile, back over to the camp chairs. So our neighbors right over here, our friends, they've had son, daughter, and mom all have a stomach virus. Dad, Sean, hasn't caught it yet, thankfully. Bailey's not feeling great right now. We're hoping she's just exhausted. It was really hot today and she got worn out. But if she starts throwing up, well, we'll know. So what we got going now here is Natalie is taking the cod, and then we're going to put, what are the other ingredients going on? Is this going to go on this?
Side. Nope, this long.
Okay, so what else goes on with the fish tacos?
I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of more tahini.
A little bit more tahini. What is tahini anyway?
It is chili, spices, and lime juice. It's good.
All right. And so then what else goes on this? Some special sauce?
No. Slaw.
Ah, see, I knew one of these things was going to go on there. So we got slaw going on top of these. Cool, too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good morning. Today's a big day. We are heading down to Syker Fabrication to get this trailer back in, hopefully for the last time in its life, to get the rest of the upgrades finished up. But you never know, we might think of something else. Let's get down to Colorado Springs. Getting ready to hit the road. There is a little bit of a rain threat. We've had a couple showers this morning, minimal, which normally wouldn't matter at all, but the lid on the nose box is off. We had to take the piece of plywood off of there that we were using as a makeshift lid for it because the real lid was back in for powder coat. So hopefully we don't hit too much rain because that's all the electronics of the trailer are back there in the nose box. You know, the 3 smart solar chargers, 2 what are they, DC to DC chargers and the power inverter plus the batteries. So let's hope we don't get any rain. All right, getting some, call it heavy mist right now. I hope it doesn't break into anything real like rain. About 20 minutes away from Randy's place, so hopefully we make it before the weather turns bad. All right, we made it without too much rain, so we're looking really good. Just get backed up in here, get squared away, kind of get into the bay here, and we should be looking good. All right, there we are. All right, getting the trailer in for the last little finishing touches. You can see the new all white nose box going back on. Back over here is the diamond plate that's going to go on top of that for traction and a little added strength. For the back of the kitchen, we have this from Turtleback. This kitchen panel was a plastic piece that goes around that fold down table. It now is going to be an aluminum piece, which is powder coated. So that's a big upgrade from what we had before. And then also down here, you can see the mountain bike rack, which is going to go out on the swing out arm. And that's going to be real nice here. It'll just mount off of this, and then it'll kind of come down right about here, near this trash bag. And we'll be able to carry mountain bikes with us. Another thing that we are doing for the Truma Combi is putting on, this was our air vent before. So a little bit on the small side, it wasn't drawing enough air. So eventually the unit would just say, hey, we got an obstruction, it would shut down. So with this bigger hole here, that's a lot more air that's gonna come through. So Randy's gonna cut that out, get us a lot more airflow. We should be looking really good there. Another thing we're doing, this UV filter down in here is gonna go. We got a replacement for it, a big upgraded replacement. One that I chatted with a bunch of guys on forums that have used the other style, that style right there. And predominantly people are saying it leaks, it leaks, it leaks. It's a problem, it just keeps leaking. So the other one that we're getting should not leak at all. The reviews on it are great. And I chatted with a bunch of guys that have used it and they highly recommended it. So that's another big plus. On over here, on the awning, you can see in the front side of the awning, this brace here, which you screw down and tighten. And then Randy's gonna add another one over here on this back side. So we really secure the awning from any kind of movement in wind, and it'll make it super flat and straight across. So that's gonna be a nice upgrade. So up here at the nose box where we have the shower slash bathroom tent here, we're going to change out this USB port into a USB slash 12 volt cigarette lighter port. The rock hard lights, hardcore lights that we're going to run in here run off of a 12 volt. We also may then throw a strip up here of hardcore lighting with a motion detector, and that would go into the 12 volt port as well. So just some things to get us light in here and just make it all work really well. And also back at the kitchen again, this 200 watt panel that's up on the roof, get that hardwired in right into one of the charge controllers, one of the Victron charge controllers that's in the nose box. This thing will be charging up to 200 watts if it's really sunny and we have the right angle. So that's really exciting. We've tested this out with a 100 watt solar just to see how it did. And it kept our batteries topped off throughout the entire day with a 100 watt panel. That was kind of getting it angled pretty good with the sun. So I figured this 200 watt, we won't be able to adjust the angle on it so much other than raising and lowering the tent. But I think 200 watts will probably do the same for us unless it's just a really overcast day. So some really, really nice improvements. All right, so there we go. Trailer's dropped off. I tell you, we have been so blessed to make friends with Randy with Psycher Fabrication. It's a small shop. He's a one-man shop, and he does just amazing work. He's a super nice guy. His level of communication on every project we've done with him have just been phenomenal. There's been no surprises. It's just been great. And you know, he has a clientele that he does a lot of work with, guys with 4x4s, with hot rods, with classic cars. And he does a lot of work with his clientele, and thankfully now we've been able to squeeze in and become a member of his clientele, because he just does great work. And it's so hard if you're looking at getting any kind of fabrication work done, any modifications, any performance stuff, whatever it might be. It's so hard to find somebody that, at least for us, it's been so hard to find somebody that we would say, hey, here's our Hummer, here's our trailer, and just drop it off there and say, look, I know you got it. So thank you, Randy, for all your help, man. It's been amazing. Can't wait to get the Hummer into you, which sounds like it's going to be like next Monday or Tuesday. So next week we get the Hummer in, and hopefully within a week it's out of his shop and it'll be at the tune. So to get the engine and transmission all tuned, if everything goes smoothly, hopefully it will. And then we get our Hummer back, and then it's time to go test it out on a trail, pulling our trailer, testing the solar, the charging, the batteries, the everything, the winch, the lights, the freezer. We're getting excited, guys. If you can't tell, I mean, really, really excited. We feel like we've been in a holding pattern for a while, getting all of this stuff worked on, but thankfully it seems like, man, it's all coming together, so we're really excited.
Excuse me, we really need a taxi right now.
Taxi?
Yes.
All right, I can help you out.
Thank you.
Watch your feet when you get in, young lady.
Okay. Ow.
Watch your head, too.
Okay.
What's up, baby?
Just trying to get in.
This might be the last time we take our trailer anywhere to get worked on for a really, really long time.
I hope so.
All upgrades look like they're done.
I think so, right? Unless something breaks.
And we get to test out our solar, and we get to test out our UV filter
Yes.
for the first time.
Hopefully that one doesn't leak.
Yeah, I hope so. All right, so we got here a little bit late, so we kept Randy later than we wanted to, but thankfully he is super understanding. Pulling out of his shop right now, and there we go. All right, so we got the trailer done. When we get back to the Jellystone, we'll show you everything that he did on it. We got a door open. I think that's your door, baby.
Mine?
Yep.
Bailey's.
Yours. There we go. So we'll show you everything when we get back to the Jellystone. It's done now, right? It's done.
Yes, it's done.
Other than a couple tiny little things that I'm gonna do, like the Jolka cover
Yes.
for that shower tent and the one little power outlet thing that I'm gonna do. Other than that, it's done. Finally, after all these years, our Turtleback trailer Plus, so we call it Turtleback Expedition Plus.
Star Trail Edition.
Our Star Trail Edition Turtleback trailer is done, and it's amazing.
All right, so we're back at the Jellystone. This is the new bike rack that hopefully is going to hold our mountain bikes. It's really pretty cool. You just push this right here, and it folds out. And it's nice and high so that we shouldn't have any ground clearance issues, hopefully. And so it's really pretty cool. I was afraid it was going to be this enormous thing back here, but Randy did a very good job of making it compact. So it kind of the handlebars will overhang here a little bit, which makes it more compact. So I think it turned out pretty cool. I'm really happy with this. All right, so we're going to open this up. See how this does. It's actually really nice. All right, so we also had this panel on the inside of the kitchen redone. Oh wow, it looks really good.
Oh, that looks really nice.
Yeah.
Way better than that piece of plastic before.
Yeah. So
That looks really good.
it does. It looks really good. They did a pretty good job of matching the paint up. You know, we're matching up different paints. We had a vent put in to help with the airflow for the Truma heater. It was did not have enough airflow to really pull, and so we kept getting an error code. So that should help with that.
Look at this. What's that right there? This one?
This one? Oh, this is the solar panel. So the solar panel is hooked up. Does that charger have to be turned on, or does it just charge all the time?
All the time.
Nice. Okay. Well, we should try to run it without the power then for a little while and see how it does.
Other thing we got down here is the new UV filter for, because the other one we had, it just kept leaking and it was just garbage. But this one, you can't really see it. It's smaller, really tight. It's an all-contained unit. We'll flash a picture of it on the screen. If you're looking for something like that, we haven't tried it yet, so I'm not going to tell you this is the one to get, but every thread that I read and some people I chatted with said this is the one to get. It's a little bit more money than the other ones, but the other ones, they leaked, they were garbage. So we'll link you a picture. I'm going to show you a picture of the garbage and the good. That way you know what not to buy. So excited about that. All right, so here at the nose box, we have the new diamond plate. It's the same diamond plate. The last one was bed linered black, which just peeled right off. Now it's all been sandblasted and made white because the black was too hot. Like Bailey would get up here with her bare feet and it was just too hot for her. So now her front porch is really slick, really nice. And this is powder coated, so this should be a much more durable surface. Also over here, we added these ports. So we got a 12 volt and we got some USB here. The 12 volt is gonna run the lights that will be to our shower tent. So that's perfect. Now we can actually have lights in the shower. So we're looking really, really good. So if you saw a previous video on the awning, which our awning raises and lowers, so we can do that. We added this brace here. We had Randy add this brace and it tightened up the front end of the awning. And it did such a great job, we had to make one for the back end of the awning. So now I'll be able to, without putting it at its highest point on this raising and lower thing, which we try not to put at the highest because I think this is a leverage thing. We weren't all that comfortable with it. But now with this brace and the other brace, I'll be able to walk under it. Okay, so underneath the trailer, we added a fan. You can see here is the exhaust for the Truma heater. And what Randy did is the exhaust runs from here, that over there runs from the Truma itself. This one right here runs from the Webasto. They join in together and they were exiting out right across here. But he added in this vacuum creating fan, and this fan pushes air right through here, through this kind of Y, and it just catches that air and pushes it. It kind of creates a vacuum on the rest of the fumes that are inside here. For running the stove, it doesn't matter. We're not going to worry about it. When we run the water heater, we're probably not going to worry about it. But when we're running the heater that's going to heat our tents, we want to make sure that all of this exhaust gets out of here. Nothing backs up where it could possibly go into a tent. So Natalie, you going to kick it on? And I don't know, there's a switch here. It's a waterproof switch that Randy put in. So this fan will kick on all the time when the Truma turns on. But if we're running just hot water, we'll keep the fan off. So right now the fan is on. Down here you can hear it. It's a little bit noisy down here under the trailer, but from up above, you don't really notice it. Like if you got the kitchen all open and everything, you don't really notice it down here. Now when you can barely hear it, right? Yeah, it's perfect. So, cool thing is, if we're gonna go all summer long, we're not gonna heat our tents at all. We just turn it off and we don't even need this thing on. It's not important. It's not important for the stove. It's not important for hot water. Only important when we're heating the tents. So we got that little switch right there. It was probably better if we had wired it up into a box or whatever, but that would have meant taking the whole kitchen apart and everything just to put in a switch. It didn't make any sense to do. If this ends up being a problem, like if we bang it on rocks, which we got like 25 or 26 inches of clearance. I don't think it's going to happen. But then we'll make an adjustment if we have to. But right now, it just makes it super simple. So I can smell some exhaust because I know the way the wind is blowing. Put your hand over there, Natalie. Here, take this. Oh yeah, the fumes are blowing. Okay,
Yeah.
The fumes are blowing right at me.
Yeah.
So watch when I kick on the fan now, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, they're gone.
Oh yeah, that gets rid of that stuff.
Yeah.
I love it. That's perfect. Once the Truma heats up, or once the Webasto diesel cooker heats up, this turns really pure. You might be able to see a little bit of smoke there, but then it really becomes really pure once everything's heated up. So you don't even notice it. Cool, I love it. All right, so we got the new NPPT smart solar charger paired with Natalie's phone. And we are now, it's super overcast. Show the sky over there, Natalie. You can see, this is afternoon. So the sun is way off on the horizon in the west. The tent is laying completely flat down, the absolute worst angle. We're getting 11 watts. And now what I want to do is pop it open and we'll get the angle corrected because it's going to take that roof of the tent and it's going to put it over now facing that clouded out sun. And let's see what we get from 11 watts. Let's see where we go. You know, is it going to make a difference? I bet it will. All right, so we're going up now. 19 watts. It's not an enormous difference, which that's that CIGS solar or SIG solar, that it's supposed to be really efficient at bad angles. And I think we're seeing that. On a sunny day tomorrow, we're really going to see what it does. But right now, just take a look there at the horizon. You know, you can see the sun is almost completely blocked out by clouds, just a little bit shining through, but now sitting right at 20 watts, which is super cool. It's just nice to see when stuff works.
Okay, so we're really happy with how the solar is doing right now. It's charging even under all these clouds. We're gonna test it out some more tomorrow. Really thrilled with the bike rack, but for now, we're gonna make a quick, easy dinner because it is cold and windy.